Hello everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited for today's video because I picked up trash for 30 days straight, the entire month of April for Earth Month, and now we're going to talk about it from beginning to end, my expectations, what I thought, what actually happened, and how I feel now and what's going to happen moving forward. So basically, what happened, I'm going to talk while I pull this up. Created this challenge. I wanted to do something with my eco-creator friends, some sort of collab, and then we came up with the idea for everyone to pick up 22 pieces of trash on Earth Day for Earth Month 2022, because Earth Day is on the 22nd, so all the 22s. And basically, I was like, that's too easy for me. I'm going to do 22 pieces a day. And listen, I've always known Las Vegas was dirty. I've always known there's a trash problem here. So I went out day one, found 45 pieces, like barely leaving my front door. And I'm like, okay. So the evening of day one, I'm like, I'm gonna go pick up some more trash. I'm feeling really inspired. So I easily found 100 pieces of trash on the first day. So I asked on Instagram, I wanted to get some input and was like, hey, what do you guys think? Should I stick to my goal of 22 pieces of trash a day or should I go for 100? And almost everyone was like, go for 100, go big. And so I committed to picking up 100 pieces of trash minimum per day from April 1st to the 30th. I also didn't set that as a limit. Like if I saw more trash, I was gonna pick it up. I pretty much just ended up walking half a mile or so every day. However much I got in that half mile was my daily amount. And yes, I did count every single day. I did lose count a couple times, so it's not an entirely accurate amount. But yeah, all that to say, 100 pieces became very, very easy to find. And if you followed my journey on Instagram, you'll know. Let's talk about week one. Let's talk about that. So I was very naive and I was very optimistic. So this quickly turned into finding 200 or 300 pieces of trash per day. But I was also feeling super motivated. I'm like, look at all this good stuff I'm doing for the earth. So excited for this challenge, so excited for Earth Month. And I feel like a lot of eco creators could probably feel me on that. The first week of Earth Month is like super hyped, and then by the end of Earth Month, complete burnout. And it really wasn't that hard to like squeeze this into my schedule. And especially now as like the days are getting longer, it's been easier to squeeze it into my evening before the sun sets. By the end of the week, the mental defeat was kind of setting in. I had found 3 like sources of cigarette butts. And what I mean is like one person throws them in their front yard and 2 people, we have this like cement wall around our entire neighborhood. 2 people throw their cigarettes over the wall into the ditch of the main road. Truly and really, it was just, they have a blatant disregard for other people's safety and health because that could start a fire. That can end up in our waterways. It's a big problem. Week 2 rolled around and I had this in my mind. I never made a commitment, but I'm like, okay, 200 is my new goal. I never even said that to myself, but I was like, I wouldn't stop until I reached 200 kind of thing. I became obsessed. I get obsessive over this stuff really easily. So these types of things are hard for me to quit and hard for me to set boundaries. But it also started to become very mentally taxing because at this point, from day one, I'm like, this is gonna be very easy. I'm gonna pick up trash in my neighborhood and I'm gonna have to start finding new places to pick up trash. But week 2 showed me that that was not the case. I, not once, for 30 days, left my neighborhood. Not only left my neighborhood, I didn't even cover half of my neighborhood. My neighborhood's not big. It would be like a quarter mile out, a quarter mile back to my house over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 8 different roads. And I'm just like, wow, people are actively littering hundreds of pieces of trash every day. To be fair, it's been very windy this month. There's a very large unhoused issue in Las Vegas. Our community is bordered by 3 main roads. So there are some factors in there that make it seem plausible, but it was still so disheartening. There was also a dust storm in week 2, and that was the least amount of trash I had picked up since like day 1. I didn't want to be outside that long, but I still managed to get over 100 pieces that day. And I really just felt like giving up this week. Like, why bother, right? Like, why continue to waste my time, all this energy and resources to pick up this trash when people are just gonna keep littering? Like, it's like trying to scoop a teaspoon out of an overflowing bathtub type of thing. No one's turning off the faucet, but I'm like trying my best to scoop as much out as I can with my little teeny scoop. And this happened every time. Every time I felt so defeated, every time I felt like giving up, someone would step out of their house, someone would pull in from getting home from work and thank me for doing what I did. So I'm like, you know what? Good timing. And all of my kind neighbors and also everyone who was kind to me on Instagram and felt encouraged by what I was doing, you guys were the reason I kept going for 30 days. Moving on to week 3. I was back in the zone. It was the week of Earth Day and I was feeling so encouraged, but my body began to hurt. I have arthritis. I am too young to have arthritis, but literally using the trash claw hundreds of times a day was really starting to hurt my joints. I also have a knee injury, so that was kind of starting to flare up from all the bending over. Despite the use of having a trash claw, I had to compensate. I'm like, I can't use my trash claw all the time or I'm gonna hurt my hand. And I can't bend over all the time because it's gonna hurt my knee. So though I had a mentality change, now my body was starting to feel the consequences. I've heard this somewhere, I don't know how true it is, but I've stuck to it as if it's the truth. Once you do something 21 times, it becomes habit. Around that. So around the 21 day mark, it had become a habit. I was used to taking my boy on a walk, grabbing my stuff, and then picking up trash for half an hour to an hour. And I really had my whole schedule figured out, and it just felt, plus it was the day of Earth Day. It felt like really special to lead up to this, to see all of you guys participate in this challenge as well on Earth Day. So it was just a really great week. But week 4, let's talk about burnout. This was the first week of doing the challenge after Earth Day, and I don't know about you, especially my eco creator friends, I feel like though Earth Month goes the entire month of April, after April 22nd, after Earth Day, all the hype dies down. You know, no one's really celebrating the Earth anymore. I don't see as much being posted, so I'm like, I kept going for 8 more days and I felt like I was alone. I felt like I was the only one still doing anything. And I also just started to get really, really tired. I was ending up not having any time to myself. I would get home from work. Some days I would do a workout. I would be working on TikTok content. It was time to walk Denahi. It was time to pick up trash. Then I had to eat dinner. I was eating dinner later than I normally did. And then I had to work on YouTube, and then I had to shower. And by that time it was like 8 or 8:30, and I had very little time to actually chill for the night because I have to get up early. Only 30 to 60 minutes each night to actually wind down from the day. And there was one day I was just so sluggish. I didn't want to put my shoes on. I didn't want to grab all my gear. I did not want to be out there. And I think that was another day too, that someone had stepped outside of their house. Oh no, it was when I met some older folks who lived around the block, and we chatted for a while. They've lived here for a while, and they're like, man, like this trash problem is so serious. And it's just nice to see, at least hear that other people notice the trash problem, because like doing this every day, I'm like, how do people not notice we're living in our own filth? But like people notice, but no one does anything about it, and like that's what's upsetting too. But it was still good to know that at least people notice. I made it to the 30-day mark. Yesterday was April 30th. I was so glad to pick up trash yesterday. And again, I never left my neighborhood. I did pick up trash a few times on my hike or at work. Though, despite how much trash I found during those things, I always came back in the evening to pick up more trash. Never left my neighborhood, barely covered half my neighborhood, and so that was very sad. Moving on, what am I gonna do now that the challenge is over? It's day 1 of not this challenge. I'm gonna take a break. I'm going to take this week off and then next week off. Next week I'm gonna be gone anyway, so it wouldn't work out. So the 3rd week of May, we're gonna see how I feel. But basically moving forward, I'm gonna pick up trash when I want to. If I have time, if I want to get outside, I wanna go for a walk, I will go pick up some trash. But I'm not gonna put the pressure on myself to do it every day anymore. I say that now, but at the same time, knowing that there's 100 or more pieces of trash very close to my home every single day, it's like, how can I ignore that now? How can I just go about my life knowing that this trash needs to be picked up? It's just really hard to ignore. But something I have to keep reminding myself of is I can't do it all. I can't pick up every single piece of trash. I can try my best, but some of it's gonna go unpicked up. Some of it's gonna go without being picked up. Oh, the grand total. I didn't give you the grand total. The grand total was 10,200 even. It was 10,199. Once I did the math, I'm like, I'll pick up one more piece. And so this really also put into perspective for me, our small actions really, really add up. I hate when people tell me, what you're doing doesn't matter. Your small actions don't matter. I get that comment a lot on TikTok. And I'm like, sure, me choosing to use one less plastic water bottle every day doesn't seem like much. Me picking up one piece of trash doesn't seem like much. But like looking at the pile of trash I have outside, wow, you can really see how our small actions matter. Okay, I know this video is getting long, so let's quickly dive into the pros and cons. The pros. It was giving me extra exercise, extra time in the sun. I work in a windowless building, and I get home and I dive right into making this work. So it was a great chance for me to get outside, enjoy the weather. It's very nice weather right now. I'm really trying to enjoy Las Vegas before it gets ungodly hot this summer. So it was great for that too. And I got to meet so many neighbors. In the US, we are just not very neighborly in general. Up until this challenge, I had only known one of my neighbors. So I got to meet some other people, and have some nice interactions, so that was a great pro as well. The biggest cons, it took a lot of work. You don't realize how hard it is to pick up trash until you do it for 30 days straight, an hour each day. My body started to hurt, like I said, it was mentally taxing, and it's just so sad to see this. My final thoughts. My eyes were truly opened. Like I said in the beginning, I've always known about the trash problem in Las Vegas. I didn't know how serious it actually was. So if you litter, stop. Also, if you litter, let me know why you litter down below. I've never understood why people throw trash outside. But if you're concerned about ocean garbage, you should also be concerned about land garbage. How does it get to the ocean? Dump trucks aren't driving up on the beach and dumping their trash into the ocean. No, trash gets into the ocean because it's blowing everywhere. People don't secure their trash. People litter. People don't pick up trash when they see it. I am extremely landlocked in Nevada. The trash that I see here in my neighborhood has the potential to get into our waterways. So it doesn't matter how far or close you are to the ocean. If you pick up trash, it matters. Because even land-based animals can suffer from our trash. And also, if you take anything, take this with you as well. Everyone has a responsibility to care for this planet. Is the litter my fault? No. I don't litter. Do I wish it was not my responsibility? Of course. I don't like picking up trash after other people. But at the same time, someone's got to do it. I wish the government would take action. I wish that someone could be employed to clean up our neighborhoods. I wish people didn't litter, but we all have to do our part. So if you see plastic, if you see trash, please pick up. And I'm gonna touch on this again as well. Picking up litter is great. And this is what inspired me to go zero waste, was I was very big on recycling and picking up litter. But none of that stuff really matters. Obviously it does. I feel like what I did really matters, but none of it truly matters until we stop the source. Just like the analogy with the bathtub. If I keep going in with my teaspoon and scooping out water from this overflowing bathtub, nothing's gonna change until we turn that faucet off. Nothing's gonna change with our litter problem until we stop over consuming, until we stop all of our wasteful practices. So I encourage you to reduce your waste starting today if you haven't started yet. And if you're like, I don't litter, why should I reduce my waste? A lot of trash is also, it's blown out of trash cans on trash day. It's blown out of dump trucks. It's blown out of landfills. So if you send your trash or recycling, you put it out on your bins and your curb, especially if it doesn't have a lid, it has a chance of blowing and becoming litter. Even though it wasn't really your fault, it kind of is by secondhand. Okay, that was a long one. I really appreciate your time though. I really wanted to do a recap and I knew it was going to be longer than just a few Instagram stories. So thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this, please give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And if you're new here, I would really appreciate if you hit subscribe. I'd love to have you part of this community. We talk about all sorts of things, zero waste, focusing on free, easy, and fun ways to live low waste and practical ways to be an activist. Picking up trash is a way to be an activist. Yeah, so thank you again for coming along and watching this, and especially if you followed the journey on Instagram, I really appreciate you and your kind words and encouragement. It really did help keep me going. If you participated in the 22 birthday 22 challenge and you haven't posted your photo yet on Instagram or other social media, be sure to post it. Use the hashtag 22birthday 2022. And even if you're just seeing this now in the middle of May, and you still want to go out and pick up trash and use the hashtag, you can still do it. I would love to see our worldwide impact of everyone picking up trash. So yeah, thanks again, and until next time, remember that your small actions have a big impact in the long run. Bye guys. Stop. It was the week of Earth Day.